lot of people are just petrified right now, and you don't want to be that person. You have to just go out and keep fighting.
What happens if I get sued? Fuck it. Sue me. I'm ready for all these lawsuits. I'm ready to get to COVID. And at least I'll die, but with money or fighting. So
We're not going to make it. But you just always have to try really, really hard to make things happen, because a lot of our things are out of our control. But he was never going to waste an opportunity to befriend someone like Dr. Buttar.
with no reserves. Like when you start a business, guys, you need 3 years reserves.
I mean, it depends on the business.
You
so
need
I would
3
have
years
to
reserves.
disagree with that.
You need 3 years
The
reserves.
lady, if you have a good product, you're a good person, you're ethical, you're hardworking, you have a good attitude, you're always gonna do good in life. And more than Hey guys!
Oh, you started. Go for it.
Here we are today. We're working with the setup that we have because Albert just flew in and we actually had to leave our stuff behind, right? Can you tell them what happened?
Yeah, well, we wanted to do this. We didn't want to miss out on Driven Couples, so we made it for Thursday instead of Wednesday. But yesterday, it was a crazy day. I flew in 1:45 a.m. I flew out from LA. I arrived to Charlotte at 9:45 a.m. So I had 5 hours before I met Dr. Buttar, which was an incredible interview. Incredible.
Yeah.
He spoke about like Bill Gates. Like he said, like, I can't believe this dude's not killed yet. Like, and somebody just shoot this guy. And
For those of
COVID.
those that don't know who Dr. Buttar is, can you tell them who he is?
So Dr. Buttar is he's a doctor, top 50 doctor in the U.S. and he has his own
Practice.
practice over there in Charlotte. This is for me. You always like to drink my stuff. I'll put it here so she doesn't grab it again.
Wow.
So yeah, so this guy's top 50 doctor in the U.S. Like, this guy knows everything. If you guys haven't seen him or heard about him, he's Dr. Buttar. Search him on YouTube. Put Dr. Buttar, Rashid Buttar. You'll find him. He gets millions of views everywhere he goes because he talks about COVID. He talks about, look, let me give you guys a few things of what we covered. Okay, he served the U.S. Army. He's a doctor for kids that have autism. He treats cancer. He talks about, he's an expert in COVID, which is man-made. It's man-made, and COVID is no worse than the flu. Masks actually kill you. They make it worse. They hurt your
respiratory.
Health. You breathe in more toxics. But we talked about 5G, flu shots. The coronavirus started in 1968. They started studying and creating it. It's to reduce the population growth. Everybody has had COVID. All of you guys watching this, I've had it. You've had it. Steph had it first. She probably passed it along to us. Trump. What does Trump know? What does he don't? What does he not know? Is COVID going to be a yearly thing? Are we going to have a war because they're going to force us to take vaccines? So that's going to happen. They're pushing that way, and there's so many more things. I could go on and on.
When does the interview go live?
However, I'm talking so. However, it's really, there's so many more things to the COVID.
You've
thing.
been doing that all day.
So
he's like, I'm not done talking. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So this doctor knows his shit really good, and when I put it on YouTube, do me a favor and download it, because this one's probably gonna get knocked out of YouTube. They're gonna make me take it down because it's about 5G and
you
COVID.
gotta strip it.
I'm talking. So you guys download it because it's gonna be very good. It's gonna help you guys. And he's an entrepreneur just like me. He created his hospital, his practice, and he's an entrepreneur. So we spoke a lot about entrepreneurship. Big announcement: Dr. Buttar is going to be at Driven 4. So, but Dr. Buttar is gonna be at Driven 4. He's gonna explain it and break it down for all of you. Like, for example, all of you that have wives, or maybe the wife is not scared, but the husband's scared. So if you're a wife and you're watching this, this is gonna allow you to for your husband or for your wife to not be scared of the COVID. One of the things that we did is, as a leader, I talked to Sal, and we said, you know what? Let's let our employees, our staff, take it off. Not take it off, but work from home. So we said they're gonna work from home, and we're gonna just follow what everybody's doing. And then after those 2 weeks, you're just not efficient. Like no matter what, when you work from home, you're just not efficient. You have the husband, you have the mom, the dad, the kids. There is no way you're gonna be efficient. So after 2 weeks, we're like, come back in. Look, I'm either gonna die of the COVID or I'm gonna get sued. And I look outside and I'm like, there's no fucking cars. Everybody is gonna die anyways. So what happens if I get sued? Fuck it, sue me. I'm ready for all these lawsuits. I'm ready to get the COVID, and at least I'll die, but with money or fighting. So I told Dr. Buttar, like, I'll die fighting, but I'm gonna keep my business. I'm gonna keep the doors open. Everybody's gonna come work from the office. We did it, and guess what? All our competitors were working from home. We're taking like just laying in the couch watching Netflix. Watching the news, getting more stressed out, getting more like paranoid. We just went out there and worked, and I did the opposite. And what happened? Now we have our company that's like blowing out of the waters, like more production than ever, like happier than ever. Like you're like buying me like a bunch of things, and we might go have some dinner after this. I don't know, but it's just amazing. So long story short, I go visit him. I flew in there with Anthony, with Tony, our new video marketing guy, and then we have here Jesus, our other new video marketing guy. This guy's a beast and taking pictures. He takes all these cool pictures, and just amazing. Like I can't say how proud I am of our new marketing team that replaced our old one. They are like nothing but better. So I'm really proud of them. Like right now, Tony is in the office finishing Dr. Buttar's podcast, and Jesus is right here operating with a tweaked microphone and tweaked cameras and tweaked views. So we're making it happen. We're here Thursday. We couldn't make it Wednesday. And yesterday when I almost missed my flight, so I got an Uber and they're not showing up. And I'm like, Dr. Buttar, just drop me off if you can. And so his car, he didn't have it because his right hand had it. And then all his employees had left. And then one of them, he's like, can you take him? And she's like, no, because it's a negative. I have a dinner with my boyfriend. And I'm like, don't worry about it. Maybe magically the Uber shows up, because the Uber and the Lyfts were down. They weren't like replying or nothing. Mm-hmm. So magically, like when they called me, I'm here, and I'm like, shit.
Thank you. Ew,
so they're like, Albert. We're here, and I'm like, damn. And Tony's like, they're here. Can we still make it? And I said, we could still make it. But we are going to have to like leave the big luggage because we don't have time to check in. We're gonna get there like 20 minutes before before the plane leaves, because it was already boarding time, and we're still at Dr. Buttar's office. So I'm driving through with the Uber driver, and the lady is like, it's a huge storm over there in Charlotte. It rains like crazy, tropical weather, like lightning, and we're like, what the fuck? You can't even see anything. So this lady is like going through like spaces. She's like cussing out all the other drivers because they don't know how to drive in the rain. And I tell her, like, I make relationships, so my people skills. I tell the Uber driver, hey lady, you know what? This is the only way we can make it. Are you game? We're going to leave the big luggage because we don't have time to check in. You're going to go to FedEx and you're going to overnight it to me. I'm going to Venmo you right now the money that it cost, and then I'm going to Venmo you extra tip for you going out of your way and FedExing this, all our stands. So we don't have stands. If you look in the back, we created like fancy extra stands. So she says yes. I tell Tony, look, we have our boarding pass. We just have to run and sprint and make it through security. We get there, security is packed, and we're like, just when we need an empty, like no airport, line, right?
Yeah.
So we're there in line. What do we do? One of the police there or the officers, they're like, that place is empty. Go to the next one. So we go to the other terminal, we cross it, and there's 15 minutes of grace period to make it into the plane, right? It's already 15 minutes. We're in line. So we make it through, and then they hold Tony because they want to check his bag. And I'm like, fucking shit. And I'm past there. We're like 12 minutes before the plane leaves. So what I do is I'm like, I'm going to sprint, and maybe I'll entertain the lady in the front, make time, and hopefully Tony like gets through fast and he sprints also. So I make it there 9 minutes before the plane leaves, and I'm like, hey, he's like, are you going to LA? I'm like, yes. And he's like, okay, yeah, we got you. Go, come in. And I'm like, but my guy is coming. And she's like, well, he has 40 seconds. And I'm like, fucking shit. I'm calling like Tony. He's not answering. I'm like, well, he'll make it. So I'm there, and she's like, you got to go inside. You can't stand right here, or else we're going to ask you to not board the plane. And I'm, playing and just being a rebel. And then I'm like, man, Tony's not going to make it. And then I'm not going to leave Tony behind.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to have to go back, and then we'll find a plane the next day. We got to stay another night, this driven couples is not possible. We had a productive day, so I'm like, and then finally I'm like, is he coming? Is he coming? He's a tall guy, and then the lady's like, huh, tall, sexy, handsome, tall guy with beard. Yeah, and I'm like, I'm gonna let him in just because
and
he's
like
good looking.
Running.
Yeah, so he makes it, and Tony's like, and I'm like, welcome to our new marketing team, my friend. And then we made it, and now we're here, and that's what you
Lesson
do.
learned: never give up. Never give up. Like him and I are running through airports with literally 2 kids. It's fucking crazy. And that's why we only do carry on. Because I'm like, no, like I've missed my flight once because of, what is it? When you take your big luggage and you take a bunch of things you don't use anyway.
We
so
take
now
carry-on now.
now we just do carry on. Even, well, now we can take 3 suitcases.
Yeah.
But it's
Well,
crazy.
for everybody watching on Instagram, text the number below. Make sure you save it, 310-359-0927. We'll send you the link. We're going to continue with our Zoom people. And we're going to be going to see you later, Instagram. So yeah, continue.
So yeah, I mean, that's amazing. Anybody else would have been like, we're not going to make it. But you just always have to try really, really hard to make things happen, because a lot of our things are out of our control. But he was never going to waste an opportunity to befriend someone like Dr. Buttar.
Yeah,
Because
but-
we've met him in Vegas before, and everything he talks about, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, it's just crazy, 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 crazy. Crazy information that I can't wait to watch the podcast.
Yeah, so one thing to keep in mind is that every personality is different.
Yeah.
I'm not a great interviewer, but I think I'm getting better. And I'm not a professional interviewer, but I'm an entrepreneur interviewer. So this is how I could tell that I'm getting better. When you interview a boxer to like a doctor, to like a celebrity, to like a business owner, to like I go from different person to different person, different personalities, and that's people skills.
Yeah.
So this is really important for all of you that are entrepreneurs or intrapreneurs. What's an intrapreneur? What's an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur, you know what an entrepreneur is?
No, but I heard you talking about it today. I think Patrick was talking about it.
Well, if you look it up, they have a definition.
Okay, what is it?
So
I don't know.
okay, so an entrepreneur is somebody that starts a business with his own money.
Okay.
Right? And then when people, and then an entrepreneur is somebody that thinks like an entrepreneur, like Steph, okay, for example, but you didn't found the business, but she is partnering up with somebody like us that we're going to grow together, and she's going to keep that entrepreneur mindset, and she's going to build, but she's going to join and partner up with a business that's already formed. So she's an intrapreneur, we are entrepreneurs. And a lot of people get confused, and they try to be entrepreneurs. They try to start their business with no funds, like with no backup, with no reserves. Like when you start a business, guys, you need 3 years reserves. Okay?
I mean, it depends on the business.
You
so
need
I
3
would
years
have to
reserves.
disagree with that.
You need 3 years
The
reserves.
lady from Spanx actually had $5,000, and she started her business with $5,000. Didn't have reserves.
There's
$5,000.
1 in a billion for everything.
There you go. But
There's
it was
1 in
a
billion.
great product.
Yeah.
And
When we started our business, we accumulated real estate.
Yeah.
And that turned into 3, 5, 6 years of reserves.
Mhm.
And when you get in trouble,
Oh,
you need a bailout. Okay,
Yeah.
so this lady might not have the reserves, but maybe she had people skills, and she got somebody like Bobby. Okay, Bobby Castro's worth like $500 million. Maybe she got an investor that saw something and was like, let me fund it.
Agreed.
And let me help you survive, because when you start a business, you're going to go through moments where you're going to go out of business no matter what. You need 3 years reserves.
Aw.
She had an investor. So that's what happened. This lady from Spanx, is that what you,
Yes.
I don't know who she is, but this lady.
She's a billionaire.
Okay, cool. So this lady was an entrepreneur maybe, and maybe somebody bailed her out, and then her idea just blew out. I guarantee you that every billionaire is not 100% owner of the company. They have partners. So I'm sure she had a lot of partners. Actually, I guarantee you that.
I don't know.
So entrepreneur. So many people make the mistake that they think they are entrepreneurs. They jump into a business. They want to create a business just because they want to, and then they make a mistake and they go out of business and then they return. So that's the difference between entrepreneur and entrepreneur. So you were continuing?
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about building your brand today, right?
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about? Yeah. Okay.
So maybe share how I build my brand, because remember I had in the dream board I had
Become a celebrity.
And you were like, celebrity, take that off.
I never said. You're such a full of liar. I never. Can I have some?
Nope.
I never said take it off. Did I ever say that? I just thought it was funny because I'm like, become a celebrity. Like, what does that even mean? Like the las telenovelas, or like what type of celebrity? Like a singer, like a rock star, like what kind? So anyway, he became the guy with the Ferrari.
Are you drunk?
No.
Did you guys give her some drinks?
No, I'm just cool. So anyway, I thought that was weird. And again, if you don't have a vision board, you must make one. Literally sit with your spouse, do it by yourself. If you don't have a spouse, do it with whoever. Just make sure you have one, because you have to have your goals very clear. I always talk about this, but everything he's had, it's already came true. And I still don't agree with the one on the computer being, I mean, I see it every day, but it's different than a physical one.
It's working.
I know it's working, but it's because we
Don't
work.
change what works.
We work.
Don't
we
change
work
what
all
works.
the time, 24/7.
No, I said don't change what works.
Yeah.
That my board works. Where's your board?
It's on
the-
the
yeah.
right side of my desk.
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
I can't see it. It's not visible. You need your dream board visible.
Stupid.
Why you call me stupido? Dude, you just always want to be right, and you can't with me.
That's not true. Anyway, keep talking to our friends.
Well, you're talking about building the brand. So how did we create a brand?
By working our ass off and you going crazy, posting things on social media, boosting ads, and really not caring what people think, because not everybody's gonna love you, and you can't allow people to stop you because you're so worried about what people think about you. If you have a good product, you're a good person, you're ethical, you're hardworking, you have a good attitude, you're always gonna do good in life. And more than anything, don't burn your bridges. Don't be a little that wants to start a business under somebody else's business, stealing clients. Like, hey, more power to you. You want to go do your own thing? Cool. But everybody wants to do it under us by stealing our people. Isn't that crazy?
Well, going back to building your brand. So
Oh,
the way I started it, just for a lot of you guys, you got to build your brand in today's world. And remember, like, there's influencers that are in their 60s and they barely made it in their 60s. And then these influencers that are in their 60s, they criticize millennials because of what they're doing. Oh, don't buy a Lambo, don't buy a Ferrari, don't buy a Patek, don't buy a Rolex, whatever. They're like making fun of the millennials, and they don't understand that millennials are way ahead of the 60-year-old influencers, because we grew up with technology and social media. That's why Kylie Jenner is a billionaire at 19. She doesn't have to wait till she's 60 to be successful. She could buy 10 jets if she wants to. Actually, she could buy like 100 jets.
I'm sure she has a couple.
And like, we could buy a jet right now, like this, cash. So we're not doing it right now because it doesn't help you right now. Like, it's like you're gonna travel to do what? And right now it's not the smartest decision we could make, because think about this. A private jet is not relatable to 99% of the population. If you want to create wealth, you got to help 99% of the population. How could you help 99% of the population if you're like flossing things that are not relatable? Like, a car is far much more reachable than a jet. Like, a nice watch is far more reachable than a jet. And let me explain. When you're in the real estate business or the mortgage business or insurance business, people are gonna listen more to people that look successful. So when I started in the mortgage business, I got a Ferrari. Nobody else had the Ferrari, and that Ferrari got me in the door with Patrick Bet-David and Grant Cardone, right? And then they were my first two mentors, and it was because I wanted to learn from one of them. I wanted to learn real estate investing and how to build your army. I mean, very simple. But one of them didn't have a real business. One of them had a real business. Patrick Bet-David, he had a company that he founded and started from scratch. Patrick's an example of an entrepreneur. So Patrick started PHP Insurance Agency and company from scratch. You hire employees, you build employees, you get a bunch of agents, and you grow that company to become a multi-billion-dollar company, which is what he's working on, right? He's in the process. So I thought about, like, who can I learn from more? Patrick Bet-David. Why? Because Patrick Bet-David had a lot of similarities to me. First of all, we're closer in age. So somebody in their 60s, they're going to teach me the old school. I want to know what's working now. So I saw Patrick. He's 4 years apart, I think 4 or 5 years apart from me. He's a minority, just like me, right? And also, He has an industry that's similar to ours. He's insurance. We are mortgages, highly regulated by the government industries. So it's relatable. So I could learn business, entrepreneurship from him. I could learn real estate investing from the other guy. But I could keep learning and growing in these two ways. And I stuck to those two because when worst mistake you could make is to learn from 10 different guys, you're going to get confused and you're not going to do anything. You're going to try to do everything. So Patrick and Grant, they were building their brand. I saw them everywhere they went. They had a camera guy. They were documenting everything and posting it. Consistency. We're creating our brand by doing driven couples. We're starting a new show that's going to be, I think, Tuesday. That's going to be a different show for a different audience. We'll announce that later. But you got to be consistent with your brand. If not, people are going to forget about you. That's why we're going to do driven couples today. We'll make up for it. And this is our way to give back to our people, driven couples. But what do you have to share about your brand? Because you're also becoming, now you have 10,000 followers. You could do swipe ups and you were so happy about that.
Well, because you're always teasing me. He's like, I'm more popular than you. And he loves to make me upset. I don't know why. I think it's just like a thing. It's like, I don't know.
The sex is better when you're upset. But right now you can't.
Babe, oh my goodness, Tom. No hagas eso.
You were talking.
Yes, he's so annoying. So anyway, he's getting all shy, babe. So you never know who you're helping. And a lot of the times we hold back on the things that we post. And I talk to a lot of people and they're like, well, it's just weird to put my business out there or to talk about this or talk about that. But just be like real. Don't try to be something you're not. I don't know. I always try to help people as much as I can. I'll send people messages. I give you my honest opinion based on my experience. Because I don't know everything, but I've been through a lot of things where I probably have the answer to your problem. And remember that your problems could not, how can I say it? Like maybe it's a big problem to you, but if you seek for help or advice from somebody else, it might be an easy solution that I can give you or vice versa that you can give me based on all of our experiences, whatever it is that we've been through in life.
But you know what has helped you build your brand?
What?
Like you? You just started being real. You weren't real before.
I'm always real.
No, you were always worried about what people would think about you. You were like,
that's not true.
I'm not going to post this because they're not going to like it and my family's going to criticize me. My friend might think I'm talking about her. And then I told you, stop worrying about that. And I stopped telling you what I was going to post. Or showing you what I was going to post. Because then you tell me, don't post that. That's bad. You're going to get criticized.
Stop.
And now I don't ask you. Now I just post it. And then you started doing the same thing.
So he has a horrible memory. Like his memory is so bad. Sometimes I wonder how he even remembers his name. Literally. So that's not accurate.
Yeah, it is.
It's not accurate. I just simply told him, I'm like, that's a little bit harsh. People are going to get their feelings hurt because whether we like it or not, humans are super emotional. But now I'm like, whatever. Like, even if you're super perfect and super nice, somebody's still going to hate you. And that's just life. Because people that have so much hate in them, it's because they aren't where they want to be. They hate the people that are doing the things that they want to do. And that's just the way life works. So, but no, that's not accurate. I never, everything I've ever posted is 100% real.
No, you were even saying, oh, I'm turning into Albert when you were doing your stories and going on rants. You told me that. That?
To the haters that want to send me messages from blocked accounts or whatever.
Did you tell me I'm turning into Albert?
Well, because I really don't care.
Did you tell me yes or no?
So before it bugged me.
Did you tell me that you're turning into Albert? No. Say the truth. Don't lie.
I said I sound like you. Your nose
is going to grow. Like, tell me the truth. Did you tell me I'm turning into Albert?
No, I simply said.
I sound like Albert. Did you say that?
I did say that.
Okay, there you go.
Okay. Anyway.
So you started going on your rants,
and
you started saying the truth, saying how you feel. Look, I tried pleasing everybody, making everybody happy, and being politically correct. And guess what? People still hated me and still didn't like. There was people that didn't like what I was doing, and I was doing it wrong. So I said, you know what? I don't give a shit. I'm going to be me, and I'm going to be real, and I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want. And 90% of the people like me, and 10% don't like me and hate me. I'm okay with that because I like myself, and I'm interested in those 90 people that genuinely like me for who I am, and now I am happy. And those 10% could stay there. If they disrespect me, I block them.
Yeah.
If they post a comment, I'll ignore them and I'll focus on answering the comments of the 90% of the good people that really like me for who I really am.
Yeah.
Like you like to do certain things that are weird and I'm
Like
happy for you.
what?
Well, keep talking.
Like what is it? What do I like to do that's weird?
Go grocery shopping.
So what? I haven't done it in a long time.
And has your life been better?
No, I like grocery shopping. I'm just busier. I don't have time for that.
Exactly.
But I like
So now
it.
you're prioritizing. Now you're working on your veggies.
So let's answer some questions.
No, well, we're not ready for questions yet.
Yes, we are.
Okay,
I don't
we
know
got
what
questions?
he had. Like he,
All right,
he drank like cocaine.
I'm drinking
coffee.
water because I don't want to get dehydrated.
Okay.
Today, how many interviews did I have?
A lot.
How many coachings?
A lot.
I didn't sleep. Red eye flight, and what? I have energy. Do you have an energy problem?
No.
Well, what do you want the Celsius then?
What did you want your Celsius? You have
Look.
an energy.
And guys, because we built our brand, let me just add one quick thing. Is that okay with you? Okay. Oh well, I was telling Steph there, but just really quick. But because we built our brand, how many top producing realtors, loan officers, and people are joining us? How many?
A lot.
Today we probably gained like 50 million or maybe 60 million in production alone,
Yeah.
just by two badass agents. One of
Yeah.
them is bringing his entire office to merge with us. It's crazy. It's crazy, and it's all because of the brand. The guy said, "I just found out about you like 2 months ago. This guy that you coach in Bakersfield is he told me about you, and I
Yeah.
followed you, and now he joined the company. Like
Yeah.
him alone with this office,
Yeah.
30 million in production."
But we
So-
only take good people. We're very selective. Even if there's top producers, when somebody's negative or they're like gossipers or toxic or they have nothing good to, doesn't matter how much money you make if you're miserable, like, or if you're just that gossiper, that drama person, like we do not allow that. I cannot stand drama queens. It's like, if you have nothing better to do, then we do not want you here. Like, you're not gonna mess up our environment that took us so, the culture of people helping people and genuinely having each other's back. You know, if you're jealous, like, too bad. Like, it's not a good sign, you know, and we just do not let people like that. We just clip them and bye. Like, see you next time. See you in another place. And then sometimes you have to go back and pick those people back up because it doesn't make them bad. That's what they are. It's what they're used to. It's the environment that they've been in. Some of them have issues. You know, we all go through things, but ultimately your attitude is going to define what you, if you're going to live in the past or if you're going to move on and leave everything behind and just keep moving forward with a good attitude, being a good person. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm
we're
not
gonna
gonna start
take the
talking about
question. The audio's perfect. Jesus, awesome. David, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. Thank you so much. I just had a really quick question. Long story short, I'm pretty soon going to be taking my real estate exam. I just looking to, break into the industry. I do some talent work on BuzzFeed and bring my girlfriend into some videos. So we've got a really good audience reception. And since I recently kind of saw your wife and your channel and the brand all together, my girlfriend had a great question. We kind of wanted to know, how do you navigate or balance making business decisions when you kind of disagree possibly about a brand decision as you continue to scale your brand as a couple, and how do you just kind of balance making sure that you're both being heard or being able to put in your creative input, so to speak, just working with two different influences or ideas as far as how do you kind of put everything together?
Let me give you the perfect answer, and then you could go into it, right?
Okay.
So, for example, I'll give you two scenarios: the house and the kids, decorating the house and the kids, and finances, and taking risks with our resources, with our money, and creating and putting a lot of money into an innovative campaign, like an idea that could possibly scale our business, but could possibly sometimes even break us or knock us down a lot. So that when I have an idea that I'm crystal clear, she just lets me. She'll go with me, and so will my entire team. They believe in me so much that it's kind of dangerous. But I always respond. If I fuck up, it's my blame. But she lets me just go. And when it's part of the house, if she says the kids are gonna do this or they're gonna have to do this, okay, like I don't get in the way because that's your territory. When we're gonna, when she has an idea on anything that has to do with the house and the family, like I don't get involved. When it's operations, it's her. It's not me. So I might give input, but she makes the final decision. And it's the same for us. When I have an idea we're gonna expand, that's my role. But can you add to that?
So you learn how to trust one another. Obviously, at first, like, he would do crazy things, and I'm like, are you sure? Like, where the hell are we gonna get? Like, the first driven, for example, like, I was like, dude, what the? Like, what are you doing? Like, he's basically spending money that we do not have.
Credit
we didn't
cards.
have at the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, racking up our credit cards, and he's like, it's gonna work, it's gonna work. Because he has so much faith in himself, and it's not that I didn't. I was just like, I'm more of like the logical, like solid foundation. I'll take risks, but never as crazy as him. And I'll just make things work, but I'm not going to spend money I don't have. I'll be honest. He does. And it just always works. So you have to learn how to trust one another, but it's important to also voice your concerns, because I'll be like, Albert, like, what the hell, and we talk about it, and then I just trust him. Sometimes I think he's crazy, but I just let him run with it, and I give him my advice, and then I put in my little magic touch, and then things just work.
Like when I tell you I gotta fly out tonight, you're like, oh, go, because she knows what I'm doing, and it's not like you shouldn't go or nothing. She believes in my big thinking. And then what about the house? Like you were telling, we were going through over something with the kids, and you're like, it's my role, stay out of it. I'm like, you're right, it's your role. I just give you this input, and I step away. You make final decision.
Yeah, because obviously he's gonna have his own opinions, or he loves our daughters. I mean, we both love our daughters, but he's obsessed with Italia. Like, that's like his little princess. It's our first baby. So he wants to make sure that she's fine. And I'm like, look, this is a problem, this is a problem, this is a problem. So I'm changing this, this, and this. And, it's when family's involved, it's a little bit more of a difficult decision to make, I would say, and we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but at the end of the day, this is him and I's life, and we have to make it work for us. This isn't about, oh my god, that person's gonna feel bad. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna come home every day after a crazy day, back to back to back to back in the office, dealing with, God knows that it's a ton of things, and still to come to my house to have to deal with bullshit. I'm not gonna do that. Like, I'm not. And I told him I'm done. Like, there's always a breaking point, and you have to understand that you have to make decisions and change things so that you can continue to grow. Because being in a good, healthy, happy environment when you come home is super important. And I know sometimes people struggle with that with their wives or with their spouse, or the single people that live in a toxic environment, and not necessarily because it's like a bunch of drugs, but maybe it's just the information that you're being fed that just makes you doubt yourself or your dreams or goals or what you want to do, and you never do anything. So, again, it's important to communicate with one another.
And also operations, like in the office, she's the COO right now, right? So in the office operations, when she's like, we're gonna knock down this wall and open here, and we're gonna move this person to another department, and this and this. So we gotta buy like $15,000-$20,000 of new equipment and this. I'm like, okay, like, yeah, we're using this card for this, and that's it. And I just trust her, and she does it. Yeah. Like I asked her, like, I don't want to hear it. You just do it. And then she gets mad, like, but I want you to hear me out. So sometimes with girls, like, they want you to hear their explanation that takes 5 minutes when they could say it like in 10 seconds. But when you hear them out, it kind of feels special to them, and they're like, oh, you're so sweet, and then they that's what they want. They just want like men to listen to.
No, I like his input into what I'm doing, because sometimes I'm like, he could see something that I'm not seeing. I always trust myself, and I believe in my ability to solve problems, and I know that I can handle things, but sometimes I'm like, fuck, if I would have asked him, I could have done this or that to change this or that, and it would have been a little bit better, but whatever. Anyway, we always make things work. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that definitely answers it. I appreciate that. It's kind of, maintaining and figuring out those roles that you can play and respecting those boundaries.
Yeah, because I'm assuming, do you have kids or no?
No, not yet.
Okay, so see, right now, it's more of a relationship thing as far as establishing roles. I don't know if you guys work together or what you do, but remember, you have to communicate with one another. The number one reason why businesses, relationships, any kind of relationship don't work is because people have a really hard time communicating with one another. You have to let the person know what you're thinking, what your concerns are, and don't be scared, and just voice it out. And then eventually him and I, even if I really don't agree, Because there has been a couple times that I do not agree at all. Like, I'm like, you're crazy. We are not doing this. And if you want to do this, you're on your own, dude. Like, even though we're married, I'm like, and then we kind of talk about it. Then there's always a meeting point, a halfway point. So that's also important because women, we have intuition. Everybody really has it. You have a gut feeling and you have to trust yourself. And I'm very good at that. I call bullshit and things before they happen. It's crazy. Like, it's just it's an ability, like a quality that I would say separates me from the rest. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm just saying I'm good at that.
Whatever you said, yeah.
But anyway, anything else, Steph?
So if you guys have any questions, post them on the comments. Steph is looking at all those questions. Also, if you like what you're hearing, if you enjoy these shows, do us a favor and share it. Turn your notifications on and subscribe to the channel, because you'll be the first ones to get the links to like Dr. Buttar and all these new people that we're interviewing. I think in the next couple of weeks, I know for a fact we have Tom Bilyeu, founder of Quest Nutrition. We have Andy Frisella, which I'm going to go to his headquarters and I'm going to record all his operation. I'm going to learn a lot from him. I learned a lot from Buttar. I'm going to learn a lot from Andy Frisella. Like, that guy's like one of the brightest people in the world. He's just like...
He's in like nutrition, right?
He's the founder of First Form.
It's a huge brand.
It's a huge
brand.
Huge operation too. This guy is super wealthy. And
he's very smart.
And he's young and he's really smart. Like everybody, all my friends, like Brad Lee and everybody that has gone to his headquarters are like, man, I thought I was killing it. This guy's fucking on steroids. Yeah, he's partners with Ed Milet in the Arte Syndicate. So amazing dude.
Look at this guy.
What?
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, but we're gonna. This is probably our last driven couples here in 10,000, because we're next driven couples is gonna be at our new place.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills, in the hills, like nice view too.
I'm so excited.
Better view.
I'm ready. Again, don't change things until they don't work anymore. So this place is just not working for us anymore. Not for us, for our kids, for our energy, for the way that we feel. You know, a lot of people are just petrified right now, and you don't want to be that person. You have to just go out and keep fighting. Whatever it is that you do, you know, just go out and keep doing your thing, you know, because people are freaking out right now. And of course, there's a lot of craziness going on, but just keep going. What are you going to do? You got to keep going. You got to keep fighting. You got to be the best version of yourself every single day. Keep self-improving so that you're mentally strong, because God knows what's all the craziness that's happening. I'm hoping after elections, all of this just kind of goes away, but we'll see. And it doesn't turn into something crazier. Because if what Buttar is saying and all of the things that I've been researching, you know, imagine being forced to be vaccinated. I'm sure there's a way around it, but it's absolutely insane. Like, no.
No, well, the only way we could stop that is for all entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs to fight against it. And once you see this interview that I did with Dr. Buttar, you're going to know how to fight it, what to do. Like, you got to speak up. We've got to voice our opinions. We've got to go vote. And together we could save it, because people move to the U.S. because we're free. Yeah. We're capitalism. And they're trying to take that away from us. If you guys haven't watched the Kiyosaki interview, he talks a lot about it. But Dr. Buttar, he added way more to it. So it's going to be really, really good, and I'm really excited for you guys to see that. Now, when we finish this, we're going to take a question right now, but when we finish this Driven Couples, make sure you guys hop on to our YouTube channel, Driven Channel. So it's youtube.com/drivench. So just search Driven Channel on YouTube. And remember that you need to subscribe to be the first ones. Pay attention. We need to subscribe to be the first ones to get the links to the interviews. Yeah. We're gonna have Melissa. It's gonna premiere the podcast that we did last week. This girl is a girl that got into the mortgage industry, right? 2 years into it in our company, she made $250,000. It took her 2 years to make $250K. Now there's people that it takes them 1 year to make 300K, and there's people that make $1 million in their first 3 years. It's different for everybody.
Yeah.
But this is a girl she was a slow starter, and she
Kept fighting.
improved, didn't quit, and now in her this is her third year. So it took her 2 full years to make 250,000. So her entire story is gonna be on Driven channel right after this. Go to my YouTube channel and watch her interview. It's gonna be live, and I'm gonna be sticking longer and answering, chatting with you guys.
Yeah.
So is she, and so are you. So we're gonna be answering questions, and make sure you tune in 8 p.m. today, right after this. Now we're gonna jump into the next question, Steph. Graham, his name is Graham. Yeah. What's up, Graham? I know Graham.
So I got a question, Albert. Basically, kind of embarrassing question, but how do you balance when you're coming up, not to make it so it's not too much of a distraction, hooking up with girls? Like, how do you make it so it's not just doesn't like just?
That's his.
Yeah. You're asking like probably the best person. Look,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep the rated R stuff off of this, but I used to be the guy that I would wake up with a chick, and the chick
We
wouldn't
all
leave.
know.
She wouldn't leave. She was like comfortable in the bed, like kind of going like this. Let's watch some TV and things like that. Watch a movie, and I was like really like stressing out because I had the next chick coming in, so I needed to get her out, right? So that's after a nightclub. I go out. So I created fake appointments. So I had my systems and procedures for girls and dating and all that stuff. Everything. I've been very systematic with all my procedures. So I would create a fake appointment, and I would jump into the shower, get ready, put on like a nice dressing suit on, and I'm like, oh, I got my appointment. I got to run to my appointment, and kind of like, girl, I gotta leave. So let's leave. So she would hop on her car. I would hop on my car. We would leave, and I would be like, man, this appointment's gonna be tough. This client is gonna ask so many questions, and I gotta take my notes and everything, my laptop.
So bad.
And I would really sell her on like, yes, I got an appointment. As soon as she left, I would do a U-turn and go around like the block, park my car like on the side of the street so that she wouldn't drive by again. Just hide the car, go back in the house, and be like, okay, the next row is coming now, and I would be ready and everything. I would change my outfits. And then the next was there. We would go out. Lunchtime came, and then we had
So how does he stay away from that?
our happy lunch, and then next she had to leave because the next girl was going to come to go out there and party and do it again. So I was very bad with girls. If you want and talk about parties, like if I was your age, Graham, you wouldn't want to be talking to me right now because we would be setting up like today's Thursday. Today's a great party night. Today was actually the best night to hook up. So you wouldn't want to be around me. And then I was making good money being a loan officer. So I was killing it. I'm 23 years old, 22 years old. I have an S550 brand new. I have my own house with a pool table. And I would go out to these clubs and I would get the best bottles. And I was like the center of the party. All my friends, like I had a bunch of friends that would go out with me because I would like party like a rock star and have the best looking girls at the table. Like one time you showed up and you saw me with partying, remember? You kind of got mad. This was back in the day when we were in that series though.
And then he was begging me to come over. I'm like, fuck you.
But yeah, so I lost everything because of that, Graham. So right now, especially like if you want to take my advice and not make my same mistakes and you want to become a billionaire young, you want to become a multimillionaire young or whatever your dreams are, right now, I would focus on work, on self-improvement, and on checking your finances every day. Creating your brand is really important. So you got to work out. You're already a good-looking guy, so work out, build some muscle, like work on this and keep your body healthy because that's going to give you more energy and you're going to make better decisions. And remember, one thing that is a fact, if you focus on chasing money, creating money, the girls are going to chase you. But if you chase women, you're going to run out of money because the women are going to take all your money, you're going to make mistakes, and there's no way to become successful if you're going out with girls, partying and all that at your age. Right now, you have to build your business and stay away from the girls because they're distractions. Now, if you find a girl like Sil, it took me like 1,000 girls to find a Sil. So if you find a girl like Sil and you're and right now, then take her seriously and stick with her. But it's hard to find a girl like that. It takes a lot of girls, a lot of tryouts. But if you find her, if the moment comes, then you'll know when that special girl comes in your life, because she's going to be another woman that's going to support your entrepreneurship. She's probably going to be an entrepreneur herself. So I like entrepreneur women. But then again, there's friends of us that have stay at home moms, which work amazing also. So you got to,
Hardest job
yeah,
for
you,
the
yeah,
record.
and you got to choose who you want to be. So what's your perfect relationship? Do you want a hot girl that's gonna stay at home? Do you want a hot girl that's gonna work with you? Do you want it's depending on who do you want and who do you want to be.
But also, you have to be what you want to attract, because everybody wants everything to be perfect and the girl to be perfect. But like, what are you? You're only going to attract whatever you already are. So
Yeah,
you
but
can't
Grant,
expect to.
why don't you tell us like what is like your biggest challenge right now? Like what are
Partying,
your,
he
what,
just told
yeah,
you.
but what's the challenge? Are you like is it girls taking them home or getting blacked out, or like what's going on with your party life?
It's just sometimes then the next day, like you're not as fresh when you're like, you know what I do, I'm in sales. So it's like, it's just like, it's not ideal when like you're not super fresh the next day when you're trying to sell. So it's just kind of trying to find like a bit of a balance. Like, is it like better just to go out on like just one day a week, like on like
Yes, I was gonna tell you that. So do not cut it out because you're a man. You want to have like you want to have some fun. You want to have some
Priorities.
yeah priorities. But like I would be super strict for like 5 days or six, and then one day pick it and go out, have fun, have some drinks, take a girl home if you can, and then reset, and then be disciplined, disciplined, disciplined. Every because you're gonna be miserable if you don't go out once in a while.
I agree.
Like for
I
me and
agree.
Sil, like now, like we're committed, right? So we're ethical. So when our fun is different than my back in the day fun that I just went over, but now
Well,
our
me and you still have a lot of fun
Yeah,
together,
we
but
still
we
have-
used to have different kinds
Yeah.
of fun. Like we would go party, and like you said, you feel like shit
Well,
the next
yeah,
day,
so-
but we would still handle everything.
yeah, and now we still go out and we're human and we still feel like shit the next day because we'll go out to like Javier's, a nice Mexican restaurant here. We'll have margaritas and then we'll have one margarita too many, and then the next day we're like, oh, we shouldn't have done that. But we get home, we have fun, we take care of business, and the next day we kind of recover and we do it once a week maybe, and then we reset and we're healthy. So it's discipline. 80% just be healthy, work out, do the right things, and then 20% you could be a little bit naughty.
But also, don't let your partying that was your choice. Nobody made you go do that on a Wednesday when you shouldn't have, when you had a lot of things to do on a Thursday. So one thing that him and I have never done is not did the things we had to do the next day because we didn't feel good. Again, that's letting yourself off the hook because of a choice that you made when you knew exactly what you had to do the next day. A lot of people do that, and you can't do that. You can't, because you're letting yourself off so easily, and it becomes a habit, and then you get into this rut and you just can't get out. So, just be smart and be mindful. Like, is this place really worth going to when I can accomplish this tomorrow and be 100%? It's all about
Yeah.
choices and priorities.
And also, Graham, like what she said, priorities and just be responsible. So if you want to go out and have some fun, make sure you pick a day where next day you don't have something important. So for example, when we're having the big event, driven event, and it's the big event, I don't drink a drop of alcohol at least 20 days leading into it. So I don't drink a drop of alcohol, and 20 days like super healthy. I work out every day and I am super laser focused because I know that it's going to be the biggest day of my life, and I have to be 100% or plus to perform. But after driven event, dude, I'll take like a week and I'll get hammered every day for a week, and then I'll come back, and then I'm like, okay, time to reset. But I do it, I plan it.
Yeah.
Like, so for example, if I'm gonna go see Buttar, if I have Dr. Buttar, I have Andy Frisella, I have Tom Bilyeu, I know I gotta be sharp. Robert Kiyosaki, I know I gotta be sharp. So like Friday, we know that we're going out to dinner with one of our girls that's top producer. We're gonna take her out. We know we're gonna have a little bit to drink, so we planned it. Next day, we're gonna drive and meet the Lee family. We're gonna go hang out with Brad Lee, and then Monday morning we drive back and we reset again.
Yeah.
Because Brad likes to have a lot of fun. Brad Lee.
Yeah.
Does that answer it, Graham?
Definitely does. Just getting more like just staying more disciplined basically, and just committing like say one day a week. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome. Steph?
And I think we're
Okay,
Okay,
one more
one more
question. And
question.
just a reminder, guys, if you're watching this, you like it, make sure you subscribe, share it, and turn
Give
on
us a thumbs
notifications.
up.
Yeah, turn on notifications. Comment when you're watching this on YouTube. Comment, and really appreciate all of you guys. Everything that we do is, I wouldn't say that we made it, but we kind of made it a little bit. We've never been this like good financially, healthy. Like our girls are healthy. Hopefully they're still awake because we're gonna go eat.
Hopefully.
And we're so grateful, we're so blessed that we want to give back. And for us, giving back to you guys, driven couples, answering your questions is our way to give back. As you see, we're not telling you subscribe to Driven Academy, we're not telling you buy your Driven tickets, we're not selling anything. This is not a pitch, this is just to help. Anything you want, like, just ask us, and we answer it like really transparently. Like, we don't, to me it's very easy to help people,
Yeah.
coach people,
Yeah.
and get on these lives because I only talk about things that I've accomplished.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm memorizing things and making up stuff. There's a lot of influencers and coaches that are going to teach you how to become millionaires, and they're broke. What they do is they memorize other people. Like, they memorize what Albert's saying, they memorize what Cardone is saying, they memorize what Patrick is saying, and then they repeat it. They're
Yeah.
good memorizers, but they're saying that to collect your money and sell you stuff, but they're frauds. So you guys have to be wise on who you listen to. Listen to somebody that started a company from scratch, started a second company from scratch, started a third company from scratch, somebody that invested in real estate, not somebody that's teaching real estate and they've never bought a house. So really important to watch the source of your advice. So this is our way of giving back. We appreciate you guys. Without all of you following us and caring about us, we wouldn't be here. So we really appreciate all of you. We're going to answer this question, and then we'll be back next Wednesday, back to our usual
Yes.
routine. And yeah, much love. Appreciate you guys. What's the next question? David.
Last question was so as a couple, like, I've tried to do a little bit of research on your trajectory, and I understand you had like mortgage guys business and obviously now ambiance realty and everything. So was it that you kind of went into the mortgage space and realty space and then kind of encouraged your wife to join in it with you, or how did that exactly happen? And just would you recommend getting into maybe the mortgage loan originating space as a real estate agent as well? Just maybe talk about that a little bit.
So when I met him, or whatever, when we were already going out for a little bit, one time I went with him to go pick up a check from escrow. We went to, I don't know where, and I was like, what the heck do you do? Because it was like a $16,000 check. And I was like, okay. And he's like, well, I do mortgage. I was like, oh, cool. I'm like, I've always been interested in real estate. So I always did the real estate and he always did the loans. So I focused on real estate and he focused on doing the loan origination part of it. And then we just opened the mortgage, guys. He was a broker. When you're a broker, you can do loans, you could do real estate. And then we opened up Ambiance, basically just for me. And then once the mortgage, guys, was like 3 years, right?
Yeah.
And then we opened Ambiance, and then we just took off from there. Like, we tried hiring we went through so much, figuring out the perfect formula as far as doing it just by ourselves, like him and I, being good to our clients. Luckily for him and I, it was very easy to deliver on the customer service part, where you create clients for a lifetime. Some of them even become your friends. It's literally a beautiful thing if you know how to be ethical and really care about the best interest of your clients. So that's how we did that. And you should really just focus on one. But luckily for us, he did loans and I did mortgage.
Yeah,
Real estate.
and then what helped us is we made a lot of mistakes. We lost millions of dollars, and I had to sell most of our real estate to survive. And what I did right was I spent a lot of money into mentors.
Yes.
So it's very important to spend money into self-improvement. So I started paying Cardone, Patrick Bet-David, Ty Lopez, Tim Grover
Different
for
people.
mindset, because he coached Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. I hired the best people in every department,
Yeah.
and I learned so much from them. And that's how our businesses took off, because of mentorship. And then we built a company, and then another mentor, Bobby, told me, Albert, you can't leave any money on the line. You got to start every business that has to do with yours. Anything that's related, man, come on. So he said, open up an escrow company, open up credit repair, open it up to everything that has to do with your business. So when you do mortgages and real estate, everybody needs credit repair help. So check Everybody needs
Insurance.
escrow services. Check. Insurances coming soon. Check. And then what else? Now you have Driven. So everybody in your company, they should go to Driven. And then what else? Create a boot camp. Create the Driven event,
Different
the
things.
mastermind. So we just started creating everything inside our triangle, and that we could feed our fishes. So we started creating that, and that took us to 12 flows of income. And now no kidding, like every minute we make income. Every minute we have a deposit
Even
from
when
a
we're
different flow.
sleeping.
Yeah. And that's when it becomes beautiful and it becomes fun. Now I understand the power of the mic. Right now you have to create your brand, because when you create your brand, it becomes easy, super easy to attract, recruit, get more business, get more viewers. So all you got to do is go on a live. We do this and we get thousands of people that see it, and it's much faster, and it's technology as opposed to going and doing a workshop with 20, 40, 50 people in the room. We could coronavirus proof. We reach people virtually. So when you become a brand, it's like Coca-Cola. They're not the best tasting or the best drink out there, but it's the best selling drink. You got McDonald's, not the best burgers, but the best selling burgers. I'm not the best loan officer, but I'm the best loan officer in getting attention. There's a lot of loan officers out there that know their shit way better than me, and a lot of realtors that know their shit way better than this girl, but we are better than them in getting attention.
Yeah.
So you got to be like Coca-Cola and like McDonald's, and that's marketing. I'm going to recommend you guys a book called Blue Ocean Strategy. You need to create your blue ocean strategy. You need to create your next innovative campaign. So
Yeah.
I don't know if this answers. If there's another thing, tell me, and we'll add to this.
Well, that really definitely explains it. I really appreciate that. Just kind of more so focusing on one area of that and just finding the other kind of branches that connect to whether
Right.
it's the state or the loan origination. And I mean, within especially a lot of the books I've read, like Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher, always said to spend heavily on, mentorship or tutoring. So that point definitely resonates with me a lot as well. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. And that's very, very super important. Focus on one thing first. So for example, if you're doing real estate and you're thinking about doing loans and real estate, first master real estate and have the systems in place where you're closing a deal a day like this. Check, 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 check. And you have all your soldiers closing deals. You have your systems in place. Everything's auto. And then you're like, okay, everything's auto. So if I step away to grow the mortgage company, my real estate is not going to get affected. But if you're trying to launch two different industries, companies at the same time, you're going to be average in both. You got to be great in one, kick ass, and then you open another flow. So we started with mortgages, then we did ambiance 2 years later, and then we did Driven, which was our way to hold the mic and tell everybody, we are Albert and Sale. We have 100% commission for ambiance realty. Let the little train pass by. And we have a mortgage company called the Mortgage Guys. A mentor helped me change it from the mortgage guy to the mortgage guys. One letter increased the value of the company by a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. I am easily, like today, I'm easily worth 100 million minimum because of the companies that I have and the revenue that they bring in every year. So that's a fact. And that's why, like I tell you guys, when you have momentum, you want to keep that momentum too. So now that you have this momentum, it's crazy, but we love working more than ever. When we become billionaires, I'm pretty sure we're gonna want to work even more.
Yeah.
So and our purpose, just in case you're wondering, like, well, why are these guys talking about billions and millions and that stuff? Our purpose is watch Dr. Buttar's interview next Monday it premieres. Watch the Kiyosaki interview that we did a couple weeks ago. We want to save this world. We want to help produce more entrepreneurs, intrapreneurs, because we are the only ones that could save this world. We need to put out our voices on social media to combat all the stupidity and bullshit that the news and the media is putting out on CNN and NBC and all that fucking shit, because it's garbage and they are making you scared. They are putting a bunch of poison in you, and you got to know the truth. So I'm going to put this interview with Dr. Buttar, and I'm going to also upload it into our website. So we'll put it to the Driven Event website. We'll put the full link there because I'm sure they're going to take it down because it's rated R, but he's giving you so much information that's going to help you guys not only survive, but to thrive during this recession proof. And remember, if you're thinking about starting a business or partnering up with a company to be an entrepreneur, make sure you join or start a business that's recession proof. Real estate, recession proof. No matter if there's a recession, people need a house. Okay, people need to refinance. So make sure you find something that's recession proof. Restaurants, kind of scary, because what happens if there's a recession, coronavirus, they have to shut down. Retail spaces, stores, they're not recession proof. What's right now, it's all about technology. Everything is selling online now. So if you have a
Crazy.
store, you want to sell clothing in a retail shop, kind of dangerous right now. You might go out of business any day. So just pay attention to what industry you want to open or you want to partner up with.
Yeah.
You want to say anything to close
That's
it out?
it. I love you guys, and we'll see you next week.